I took my own bonus room over my garage from 85 degrees down to 71 degrees, using my same HVAC system without installing a single mini split. Many contractors tend to focus on equipment and may not tell you that adding a mini split may increase your energy usage if the underlying air leakage is not addressed and proper insulation installed. It would be like me installing a dehumidifier inside of a crawl space without sealing the vents or covering the exposed dirt with a vapor barrier. I would need a really big dehumidifier using lots of energy to keep that humidity in the crawl space under control. Over the past 20 years, I've helped many homeowners fix their hot bonus rooms. And in my experience, the room isn't the problem. The building envelope around it is. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for before you spend $3,000 to $5,000 on a mini split that you may not need. Now, before I share with you what I did, I want to make sure you understand why bonus rooms fail in the first place. Because if you don't understand the why, you're going to keep throwing money at the wrong solutions. A lot of homeowners seem to think the room itself is the problem. It usually isn't. The problem is everything around it. A bonus room over a garage is surrounded by some of the hottest parts of your house. You've got a hot garage underneath it, you've got a hot attic space above it. And in a lot of homes, you got knee walls on both sides of the bonus room with attic space sitting right behind them. On a hot summer day, that attic can easily hit 130 to 140 degrees. And you're trying to keep that room at 72 degrees, and those two temperatures are fighting each other all day long. As you probably know, heat naturally moves towards cold, and your bonus room is caught right in the middle. Then you've got the HVAC system trying to cool that room. The problem is in most homes, the ductwork trying to cool that bonus room is running right through that hot attic. So before that nice cool air even gets to the register, it's already traveling through one of the hottest places in your house. That's why bonus rooms can be so frustrating. You're asking your HVAC system to win a battle against heat that's attacking it from every direction. So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Here's the order that works. Seal first, insulate second. And by the way, this isn't my opinion. The U.S. Department of Energy recommends air sealing before adding insulation because air leaks reduce the effectiveness of insulation. Building science has been teaching this for years, but it seems like contractors are not listening because air sealing isn't the fast part of the job. It takes time, patience, and attention to detail. You have to pull that insulation back, find every little gap in penetration, seal them one by one, and then put everything back the way it goes. That's a whole lot more labor than just blowing in new insulation or hanging fiberglass bats on knee walls. Because of that, many contractors focus on the insulation and never address the air leaks underneath. It's not necessarily because they're trying to cut corners. It's often because insulation is just absolutely quicker to install, while air sealing is where the real time is spent. You see, insulation only slows heat transfer. Air sealing is the only way to stop that hot air from getting into your bonus room. In fact, Building Science Corporation has written extensively about this. Insulation and air barriers do two completely different jobs. One slows heat flow, the other stops air movement. You need both. If you skip air sealing, you're allowing one of the biggest enemies of your comfort attack that room continuously. So what does that actually look like in a bonus room? It means finding every place that hot attic air can get into your living space and shutting the door on it. That could be the top plates of an interior wall, holes where electrical wire or plumbing pass through, or those little knee wall doors that are often overlooked. Every one of those areas should be sealed. And those knee wall doors, they should be weather stripped just like an exterior door. I can't tell you how many attics I've been in where there was plenty of insulation, but nobody ever looked underneath it. We'd pull that attic insulation back and find huge open gaps where hot attic air had been pouring into the living space for years. Homeowners spent good money on insulation, but the room was still uncomfortable because the air leaks were never fixed in the first place. One day I had decided I had enough with my hot bonus room. So I climbed through that hobbit door to see what was actually going on. The first thing that caught my eye wasn't the insulation. It was the amount of outside air moving through that space. I could see daylight coming through the soffit vents, and I could actually feel the airflow. Typically, that's exactly what you want attic ventilation to do. But I realized that moving air was only inches away from the wall separating my bonus room from the attic. At that moment, the whole problem of my hot bonus room made sense. The ventilation system was technically doing its job, but there was nothing stopping that hot attic air from affecting the bonus room I was trying to cool. So instead of trying to block the ventilation, I actually redirected it. I installed rigid foam board and sealed every seam with spray foam. That allowed the outside air entering through my soffits to continue to flow where it was actually supposed to, up the underside of that roof deck and out the ridge vent, versus the other side of my knee wall, while also influencing the temperature in my bonus room. Once I did that, the room became dramatically cooler. And that's when I realized the issue had never been the HVAC system at all. It was the building envelope. But after I fixed that, the HVAC system still had some trouble keeping up, and here's why. One of the biggest reasons bonus rooms stay uncomfortable is because homeowners don't even realize that there's a space behind those knee walls. Most people think those short walls are just part of the finished room. They never realize there's a hot attic space right on the other side of them. And that's where a lot of problems start. And house after house, I'll open one of those knee wall doors and find fiberglass insulation that's sagging, missing, or simply not doing the job it was supposed to do anymore. The problem is there's nothing stopping that hot attic air from moving around it and into your bonus room. You see, fiberglass is designed to slow heat transfer but isn't an air barrier. And if hot attic air is free to pass right through it, its performance drops dramatically. That's why I recommend creating a continuous air barrier over the fiberglass. Depending on how your house is built, that might mean sealing and insulating the knee wall with rigid foam board. But the goal isn't just to add more insulation. The goal is separating your conditioned living room from the attic space and keeping the attic outside the building envelope, which is where it belongs. And doing it this way not only air seals that knee wall, but could increase the R value from R19 to R24 or higher. But even after rechanneling my ventilation to where it needed to be and air sealing my knee walls, I still had a problem that needed to be addressed. Another place I see homeowners losing a lot of comfort is the ductwork serving the bonus room. Think about the path that air has to travel. Your AC might be creating a cool 55-degree air, but before it ever reaches the room, it has to make a trip through a hot attic that's between 130 to 140 degrees. Every foot of ductwork in that attic is working against you. Now imagine those ducts aren't even air sealed well. Some of that conditioned air is leaking into that hot attic and not even making it to your bonus room. The U.S. Department of Energy says that's more common than most people even think. They estimate a typical duct system can lose between 20 and 30% of the air moving through it because of leaks or poor connections. So before you spend thousands of dollars on a bigger HVAC system or mini splits, ask yourself a simple question. Is the cool air I'm already paying for actually making it to the room I'm trying to cool? When I went through my own bonus room, I sealed every duct to make sure I was getting all the air that room deserved. Then I added more insulation around those ducts for even better protection from the heat that was around it in that hot attic. Those changes didn't make more cooling capacity. They simply helped deliver more cooling that I was already paying for. That's something I think gets overlooked all the time. Homeowners focus on making the air conditioner bigger when they should be asking how much of the air it's producing is actually reaching the room. This is the kind of stuff we break down every week, so if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. Now let's bust a few myths really fast because I hear these constantly. Myth number 1, a mini split will fix my hot bonus room. A mini split can absolutely make a bonus room more comfortable, but if hot air is pouring into that room, all you've done is buy another air conditioner to fight a problem that should have been fixed at the building envelope. Fix the envelope first, then decide if you need to buy a mini split. Myth number 2, a bigger AC unit will solve it. A bigger AC unit does cool faster, but cycles off sooner. Short cycling means less dehumidification and possibly more humidity, and a room that usually still feels uncomfortable. Right-sized equipment in a properly air-sealed and insulated space beats oversized equipment in a leaky one every time. That's why HVAC contractors use something called the ACC Manual J to properly size equipment. Bigger isn't better, properly sized is better. Myth number 3, a mini split is cheaper than fixing the house. Sometimes a mini split looks like the better option, but if you're paying to cool a hot bonus room for the next 15 to 20 years, it may cost you way more than just going ahead and fixing the building envelope itself. Myth number 4, once I install a mini split, I can ignore the attic. A mini split does not stop hot air from entering your bonus room. It doesn't seal duct leaks. It doesn't fix poorly insulated knee walls. It simply adds more cooling. The building problems are still there. So, will a mini split fix a hot bonus room? Sometimes, but only after you make sure the room isn't fighting against you. If hot attic air is pouring through the knee wall, your ducts are leaking into the attic, and the building envelope hasn't been air sealed, a mini split is just working harder to overcome the problems that currently exist. Fix the building envelope first. Then decide if you need more cooling. In my home, I didn't. I fixed the envelope, sealed the ducts, fixed the knee wall, and that room went from 85 degrees to 71 degrees without me having to upgrade my HVAC system or add a mini split. If you're ready to tackle this yourself, I've put together a free attic air seal and insulate guide that walks you through exactly where to look before you spend money on the wrong solution. There's a link in the description. And before you go, if you really want to understand why your attic is so hot, click on the video that's on the screen right now about attic ventilation. It'll help you understand how soffit vents, ridge vents, and airflow all work together, and why fixing the building envelope made such a dramatic difference in my own home. I'm Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja, and I hope you make it a happy and blessed day, and I'll see you later.